When you get to university for the first time, it's nerve-wracking, it's terrifying, and everybody says it, and it's almost such a cliche, but it's true, I remember walking through the car park after my parents had just dropped me off, and they said to me, "Don't worry, everybody's in the same boat." And I was walking through the car park, and somebody else was getting out of their car, and their parents said to them, "Don't worry, everybody's in the same boat." And everybody was saying the same thing. Everybody was nervous. And you get there, and then the first week is like it's one of the most terrifying times of your life because you don't know anybody, you don't know what to do. You've got a new room, new environments. I don't know this part of the country. I don't know this city. So it's interesting. It's an experience. It's nice to sort of go out of your comfort zone for a little while.
Careers advisors generally will give you information about universities, but the best thing I found was just going on the web. Everything's on the web. Every university will have a website, and then, like I said, going to the open day and talking to the students themselves, because that's the best source of information you can get, really. But also on the UCAS website, that links what courses are in what universities and can help you narrow down a bit.
The increase in the number of higher education courses available has provided considerably more opportunities for students. There are so many different things that people can get, because there's so many different things that people can study. There are many different careers open to people that they just wouldn't have thought about in the past. So through their learning, they're thinking, "Oh yes, I can go into that." Everything's possible. And it's just amazing how the general public perhaps just don't realise that over 60% of jobs advertised for graduates are for any degree discipline. So employers aren't saying, "We want people who have done perhaps the very traditional subjects." They're very open. Employers are open-minded about the discipline that's been studied. What employers are looking for is something beyond the degree. So in a sense, it doesn't matter what you've studied so long as you've been very enthusiastic about it and you have learned to that graduate level and made the most of the student experience.
Students can find out information about universities by actually Googling university name, and all the universities that they're interested in will come up. But also a great source of information is the UCAS website. You can actually do course searches there, or you can look for individual universities, and there's a vast amount of information, and you can actually have links to the individual universities then. But another good source of information is the careers advisors in school, because they'll be able to give them individual prospectuses, and they'll be able to tell them much more about the entry requirements and the course details.
Fear you not, there's a whole Transylvania of graduate employers out there, and they're all baying for fresh graduate blood. Yet they're not takers of fakers, oh no.
Particularly within financial services, our candidates need to be compliant. We've seen various examples over the last 5 years where there have been issues with employees such as Enron, such as ING Bearings, where potentially there have been fraudulent issues.
Some companies will carry out the checks before they make an offer of employment to the candidate. Other clients will take up the references during the candidate's probationary period and advise the candidate that if they do not receive satisfactory references, then the employment at that point will be terminated.
They will be thoroughly checked. Any candidate that refuses to be credit checked or fully referenced will be withdrawn from an interview process and potentially could lose an offer, as our clients won't accept them if they won't go through that process.
Well, if you're a tough enough grad for the position, there are oodles of prospects out there. The 2007 Top 100 Graduate Employers list is a very good place to start. There you'll find companies involved in all different kinds of industries and sectors. To get in with the top 100 graduate employers, you need to be something pretty special. So just what is it that makes you stand out? Indeed, the employers featured in the top 100 hired a record number of graduates from 2006 to 2007, and they're set to recruit even larger numbers for 2007 to 2008. Now that you have finished your course and have begun making applications, you need to feel confident that the hard work that you've put into your education over the past few years pays off.
To make my application stand out, I feel that my strengths are the fact that I've had work experience in the financial sector already. I did a year's experience in investment banking, and I sort of decided it wasn't for me. But on that search of trying to find a job, I've gone back to university to do this course. I've also done internships at Morgan Stanley and other places like that. So I think in terms of maturity and experience, that's something that could differentiate me from other candidates.
These companies in the top 100 range from investment banks, financial institutions, law firms, public sector employers, retailers, engineering, industrial, IT, telecommunications, accountancy, chemical and pharmaceutical, oil companies, and the armed forces. Early on, you'll want the license of responsibility to make your own mistakes, just so that you can learn the valuable lessons from them. So for that reason, don't be cocky.
I'd love to go into financial analysis, and I've chosen that course because of the flexibility it has. And basically it has a wide range, because with accounting you can do anything from the preparation of the accounts to actually managing the accounts. So because of that kind of flexibility, I think I would love to go into accounting.
As part of kind of government initiatives to to further the skill sets within the UK working population, there are moves, political moves to make sure that more and more people come through as graduates, and that's obvious the results of that are already happening. This is to ensure that Britain competes on a global scale. Whether it will work, we'll have to find out. But that's the thinking behind it. So if you've got more and more first degree holders in the population competing for the same jobs in UK and global organisations, what can you do to set yourself apart from them? And I think that one of the things that you can do is to take your education to that next step, which is to the master's level. And this insight was given to me by a friend who works in human resources consulting, also does a lot of coaching and career management. And when she put it to me like that, it made me realise the sort of competitive environment that I'm in as a potential worker. And I think that it will tend to be people coming back into study at a later stage. So people will get their first degree, build up some work experience, and through either their work or things they're doing in their personal and private lives might identify things that really interest them, or they might find new things that interest them, which is what's happened to me with kind of HR and development.
Well, IT is a very dynamic field. It keeps changing. Every day you hear new things about IT. Things that was not here 5 years ago, it's the big news of today. And things die easily as well. The new technologies, you see things coming and going, emerging. So you need to be in touch with all these new technologies. You need to be aware about what's going on. So you need to be in touch with, for example, via the internet, via the media, computing, books and magazines. When anyone is applying for a job, the initial application is via the CV. So you must present the CV in a way that you get selected. In many cases, there are thousands or more than that applicants trying to get 1 or 2 jobs. So you need to market yourself well. So in the CV, it should be simple, but it should be concise with all the technical skills, all the skills. In fact, it should be concise but relevant to what you are applying.
There are several ways for you to confidently enter into the job market. To help you get on board, you can investigate a graduate recruitment company. If you're suitable to one another, they can help you out with how to get in on a career focusing on your line of expertise and tailor your CV accordingly. Graduate recruitment agencies prepare students for entry into their chosen sector. Their expertise is working with the best companies and finding the most suitable candidates for the vacancies. They will assess your skills, discuss your career goals, and offer advice on interview techniques and work-life culture.
Well, today we've ran an assessment day in the north of England. We do one in the north, and we do one in the south, and we do one in Birmingham as well. Birmingham on a monthly basis, London and Manchester on a weekly basis. Today was the Manchester Assessment Day, and what we've done, we've invited a number of graduates to an assessment day today who we believe could possibly make IT sales professionals.